Okay, Austin, so you've done field goal snaps historically, but never done punt snaps, right? And you're the man this year, right? So you got to do it. Failure's not an option. Okay. All right, well, coming into camp, a couple of things. You're a center. So you're used to having your head up, you're used to snapping and stepping across the line, basically, right? Okay. Got to change that up for long snapping because we're trying to accelerate a ball 15 yards away from the line of scrimmage. We've got to have what I call a balanced, neutral, stable platform, and we've got to be able to accelerate everything back through our hips towards our target. So that snap and step's got to stop. The other thing that we can't afford is to snap and pop your head up, because if you're doing that and trying to launch a ball that far, throw it hard that way, you're sending half your energy in the wrong direction. It needs to go back that way. Okay, so that's the first concept we need to work on. First thing I said to you when I looked at you, I said you're a wrestler, right? Because you're flexible, you can hunker down, you can get low, you can do all those things. But with pads and a helmet on, and we need clearance underneath our body to accelerate that football, we need to open you up and make you big in the stance. You never want to be small on the football field, right? You want to be big and aggressive, whether it's to intimidate the opposition or just to be fundamentally sound, whatever the needs are, that kind of thing. So we call it spider. When you get real hunkered down and low to the ground, you're spidering, and we need to kind of raise you up and get you in a more fundamentally sound football position that just happens to be adjusted a little to snap a football through your legs. You're compact and you're hunkered down. You're so low to the ground, the only way to get arm extension is to stick the ball way out in front of you, and you're overextended downfield, okay? What we need to do is take that whole head-to-tail platform we talked about, unbend the legs, and bring those head and shoulders up higher and give you some operating room underneath your body. Does that make sense? Okay. And as a blind snapper, I know your habit is to want to keep your head up. There's a couple options you got for punt snapping and field goals, or punt snapping in particular. Either throw the head down and through, which is great because it helps us channel all that energy back to the target, or keep it absolutely neutral. It cannot come up. It cannot go across the line of scrimmage. It's got to stay there throughout the motion. Most blind snappers, let's say many, not most, like to throw the head down and through because they feel it gives them a little extra umph or grunt on the snap, and it also channels everything where it needs to go. I think that's going to work for you. Now, I saw you throwing a ball. You don't do a great spiral throwing a ball, right? Okay. You need to work. I can't do a one-handed throw very well with a football either. There's a thing we call the TV drill. You just get your long snapping grip and practice rolling the ball off your fingers. The reason I call it TV drill is you can lie down at home in front of the TV, as long as you don't hit your mama's ceiling, and you can practice rolling that ball in a nice tight spiral, right? Okay? And exaggerate and finish. That'd be a great thing for you to work on. Two-handed throwing is a great advantage because it's a lot easier to get a tight spiral on and stuff, okay? So that's basically it. I'm going to elevate you. I'm going to shorten you down a little bit by taking some of the downfield arm extension, making it vertical. So it's a combination of the two, okay? And just try to get you balanced perfectly by having your knees right over your toes. Let's see what happens. You're mostly arms at this point, but that's fine. You're pretty new to the long snapping game, and I think we can make it work. I'm going to three-step you. You ready? Okay, the other thing you might do with this hand is get a stronger. It doesn't have to be that strong. Anywhere there that gives you a tight spiral, you're going to have to experiment. Some people think you need it way out. That makes me worse. Somewhere in there is good, but if it's what I call a weak grip on the same side of the seam, you can't really hold the ball. You're going to drop it. So somewhere there is going to be magic for you, okay? You ready? Pull you forward. Lean on the ball, okay? That gets your knee bend to 90 degrees or less, straightens the back, fully extends the arms. Then I raise you up, maximizing your operating room under the torso. You're going to really appreciate that when you get the helmet and shoulder pads on. Then I'm going to push you back into the hips towards your target. Sorry, a little aggressive. So your heels touch the ground, knees are over the toes, you're solid on your feet. I'm going to raise the front end, lower the back end a little. Right there. You want to be fairly horizontal, shoulders to hips as a blind snapper. Now let's try to throw that chin down and through as we snap. Go ahead. How'd that feel? Yeah, it did. It did. Now I had you down too long. You went a little high. We're not going to worry about that right now. We're working on getting you right, and then we'll get to that point, okay? That was actually quite good. Now, the last thing we've got is you really kind of lock out the elbows. And I want to do something to reduce that a touch. I think we saw some magic occur when you tilted the ball, nose of the ball up about an inch, didn't we, earlier before lunch? Let's do that too. Let's make sure that's part of the mix. I'm going to three-step you one more time, okay? Quickly. 1, 2, 3. Raise the front end, flatten the back end, tilt the ball a little bit, and launch it. Much better. Now, you forgot to throw your head. That was neutral. there's not nearly as much power as when you throw the head. So we've got a day and a half left at camp. We can figure out what works for you. I don't care which way you go. Whatever gives you results is what matters. But for now, let's go ahead and throw the head, okay? Yeah, I think you do too. Most people do. But go ahead and let's keep you going. We're going to get a couple more reps on camera. You can take this home, show it to your girlfriend later. She's going to be amazed. All right, so we raised the front end, lowered the back end, then we centered the body by getting the knees over the toes. That's for perfect balance. Tilt that nose a little to relax the arms. Throw the head, let it rip. That right there is a sign of brilliance. Perfect setup, perfect snap. The ball goes exactly where you want it. Now, because you're set up right, now you can rip it. Give me everything you got, just like you're firing out to block or tackle an opponent, your girlfriend, whatever it may be, okay? Okay, so raise the front end, lower the back. Make sure your weight's on the balls of your feet. Throw the head, let her rip. I really like what I'm seeing. And see how solid you are on your feet at the finish? You feeling good about that? Keep working with us. There's still some work to do. We're going to put you on a hill to perfect balance. We're going to teach you to never throw a high ball. We've got some work to do, but right now that's tremendous progress. And again, watch it through your legs. Don't go looking over your shoulder, which you've already corrected. So very good coachability too. Any questions? All right, let's rip. All right, you're looking pretty good. Just don't ever get more hunkered down. You're going to need that space when you get pads on, okay? That's a good, big, aggressive, solid football stance. Let her rip. There it is. Coming along, okay? There you go. You're improved. Good job.